Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris and this is ANC Candles and Car Air Fresheners. Today I will be starting with the Car Air Fresheners. I'm completely done with the room spray. You guys have seen the videos from the phase 1 to the last phase, which was adding labels to the bottles. So those ones are done. They are packed and ready to go. Now today I will be making the Car Air Fresheners, and I'll be using these card stocks. All right, you guys have seen this plenty of time. And I also have this one, but these are not the ones that they ordered. They ordered these ones. All right, so they ordered 100 of these, 20 each fragrance scent, I should say. But I've done some of them just to speed up time. I've done 3 of the other fragrance scents, and maybe that's repetition if I say fragrance scents. So I should just say I've done 3 of the fragrances, and I just left these 2 for you guys so you guys can see the process over again. Some people are still asking me how to know the amount of fragrance oil to put in each of the cardstocks, and some others are asking, they don't know how I come about with my numbers and stuff like that. But today I'll be showing you guys how to do it. I'll start by going into the ultimate production system, which has a calculator in it. Some of you already have the system with you. All you have to do is just plug in the numbers as I'm going to show you, and then you'll be all set to go. All right, but before I show you guys that, I want to show you guys the ones I've done already, like the Fabuloso has been done. Yes, I'm still using these containers because they seem to work fine. The other ones are very long and they are better when I use them for my home air fresheners. But for the cardstocks, car air freshener, this one seemed to work fine, and this smells amazing. I've done this like 3 days ago, so they're still curing. See, show you guys that. All right, they are still curing, and these are 20 of them in here. Okay, smells amazing. This Fabuloso smells so good, and they are the ones I call the clean interior. So this is like the clean interior of a car. Smells really nice, and you get that fragrance oil from the waxy flowers, but also you can get the same fragrance oil, I believe, from Virginia Candle Supply. You can also get that from them. None of these people are sponsoring this, so don't worry about it. This is just me shouting out people who complains that I like their fragrance oils. The one in Virginia you will see is Lavender Fabuloso, but the one in Waxy Flowers, you see it as Fabuloso. All right, so that's where you can get them from. It smells divine, smells really good. I love it. Okay, so those are the ones I've done, and the other one I've done is the mahogany. So they also ordered mahogany. You guys see that there as well. Smells really good too. So yeah, these ones they've been curing for 3 days as well. They should be ready to go. I'm just waiting for me to be done with everything so I can start packaging them all together. Okay, so that's that one. And then I have the last one here, gunpowder. They ordered a gunpowder for this store. Oh wow, smells good. All right, so that's the one they ordered. I added these other ones because these are my other inventory ones that I have left. I'm just going to pick from those ones as well. Okay, that's what we got. So now I'll be using this for my for my leather. They ordered a leather one, and they ordered fresh coffee, so I'll be using those containers for them. And these are what I went by. This is their order. Okay, all right. The first thing, like I said, I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the system itself, and I'm going to start plugging in the numbers so you guys can see how I plug them in. But before I do that, also, this is very crucial. This is very important. I have to say this because this kind of throws people off. So this is what you need to do. All right. So first of all, you want to weigh this dry cardstock. This has nothing on it. There is no fragrance oil or any carrier oil mixed. There is nothing on this one. This is just plain. This is how you get it from the manufacturer. Boom, just like that. Okay, so you want to weigh this and get that number. That's what you want to do first. Second thing you're gonna do is you weigh the ones that are already fragrance or the ones that is absorbed. You can see the difference. Okay, so you can see that this one is still drying a little bit. I see that, so that tells you there is oil in it. This one, there's nothing in it. You can even see by the color, right? All right, so this one no oil, this one oil. So you're going to weigh this first, then weigh this second. Then you're going to put those numbers in the system so it can help you calculate. Okay. All right, so let's quickly weigh these things so we can know the numbers and put them mentally, or we can just write them in our system. I want you guys to follow as I do this, because it's very important to know this. Also, you want to know the length and the width of your cardstock, so you can input these numbers also into the system. All right, let's get that going. So the first thing you're going to do, for me, I already know what this is, the width and the height. I already know this, but you want to use your ruler and you just want to measure, right? In inches. Okay, so mine is showing about 2.5. Okay, 2.5, 2.6. That's what mine is showing for the width. Then for the height, it's showing me 3.8. Okay, so that's for mine. All right. Okay, yours might be different. Just make sure you have the right dimensions. So now I'm going to put a camera here so you guys can see the measurements. All right, so I've turned on my scale, zeroed. So this is the dry empty one. Throw it in there, and that gives me 0.42 or say 0.43. Okay. All right, so I have to mentally write that down or put it in my computer. So the next one I'm going to do is the weighted one. Okay. And that gives me 0.79, approximately 0.80. Okay, so that's what it should be after fragrance in it. All right, so now that you have those numbers, we're going to plug them into our system. Okay. All right, guys, so this is the formulator suite. Usually I will use this formulator suite for everything I do with my room spray and my car air fresheners. All right, why? Because it's just here for me. So I have everything that I need to use to create my room spray and everything that I need to use to create my car air freshener. So if I go through here, you will see where it says card stock calculator. So if I come over here, that's where you have that. But because this particular tool is not available to the public right now, but it will be very soon. I'm still working on some other things behind the scene concerning this tool, but because it's not available right now, the same one that you guys have been using, those of you who already bought that, the ultimate production system, it is still the same logic, it is still the same thing, it is still the same result it's going to give you. All I did was just transfer the logic into this particular suite so that I don't have to be going back and forth. Everything is just going to be here. So that's why I did that. So there is no difference. All right. So now I'm going to go to the ultimate production suite, which you guys can use and which I'm going to be using for this demonstration right now. Okay. So for those of you who already have this Ultimate Pro Air Freshener production system, this is the one I will be using. So the first thing you want to do, you can ignore this client. If you want to put your clients, that's fine. You want to make sure you have this as standard. Okay, so if I go down, you see Rush Wholesale, but you want to make this as standard right now. I have a video that went into full details on how to use this system, and I'll link that in my description. Okay, you can go through these other tabs here and you will see some of the things that you can do with this particular one. Okay, all right, but that's not why we're here. So now let's go down here and we're making car air freshener. Make sure that's what you selected. If you're making home freshener, you select home freshener, but we're making car air freshener. and you can select your scent type. So over here, the length, okay, we already talked about the length, so that will be 3.8, and the width, we made it 2.5, and we're using the 3 mm cardstock thickness. Cardstock cost per sheet, ignore that, we're not going for the cost right now, but if you know your cost, you can add those there. All right, now for the dry weight, we know our dry weight was 0.42, and our saturated weight was, yep, we got that right, 0.8. And then the absorption adjusted factor, what I call AAF. So that is your factor that you want to adjust your oil to. So if you use like the 100% that is right here, what this 100% means is that your oil will be dripping off your cardstock. It is fully saturated, like 100%. That is the saturation that you used when you did your test to know how much saturation can be in your cardstock. But I want to make it 80%. Okay, so I don't have a dripping cardstock that will drip into the bags and everything. You don't want that. So that's the reason we have this practical saturation, which is the 80%. All right, so the next one is the oil formulation. So the oil formulation area is where you want to add your fragrance oil ratio and your Car Air oil ratio. Right now, I will be using 70% fragrance oil and 30% Car Air oil. Now, if you just choose your fragrance oil at 70%, the system automatically knows that the Car Air oil will be 30%. So because it is 70% here, you can go and choose 80%, 90%, you can do 50% as well if you want to. Up to you. So today I'm going to leave mine as 70%, which I always do anyways. So now the Car Air oil type, I'm going to choose DPG because that's what I will be using today. Now, if you know your cost per fragrance oil, you can put that. If you know your cost per Car Air oil, you can put that. For now, let's ignore that because I'm not trying to do cost. But if you want to do your cost, add this and the system will spit out everything that you need. Okay, so the next thing is the production parameter. So right now is the quantity I'm making. I'm making 20. So I'm making 20 of this leather fragrance oil, Car Air Fresheners. So the next one is individual freshener area. So now to get to individual freshener area, you got to go to this. That's why this is important. So now I'm going to multiply 3.8 by 2.5, okay? And that is going to give me 9.5, okay? So 9.5 will be my freshener area, okay? Okay, so now if you want to add your labor cost, you can do that. If you want to add your packaging cost, you can do that. Again, that's not what we're going for right now. And you can come here and click on calculate. So when I click on calculate, you come down here, you can see all the numbers this is going to give you. So right now, okay, you see where it says absorption rate, gives you that, okay, and the total fresheners is 20, all right, and freshener per sheet is 1, so that's just 1 cardstock, right? And the total oil that we're going to be using is 6 ounce or 6.1 ounce if you approximate this or round this up. All right, and then fragrance oil. So the fragrance oil we'll be using, okay, is 4.25. I should just say 4.3. So 4.3 is what I will be using from my leather fragrance. Okay, this is just for the fragrance oil. Now for the Car Air oil, I will be using 1.8 Car Air oil. Okay, 1.8 ounce of Car Air oil. So now it gives me oil per freshener. So it's telling me that 1 cardstock is going to absorb 0.3 ounce of fragrance oil and Car Air oil mix. So that is what we want to do. All right. Okay, so now we're going to move on to making this production using these numbers in the oil requirement section. All right, guys, as you can see, I was able to get those numbers that I need. And this is very important because I've had a lot of questions about this. I hope this is very clear now so you can go ahead and start making your car air fresheners. A lot of people are already using this system and it's working for them. If you still have questions about this, you can still reach out to me by using the Telegram group or leaving a message in the comment section. All right, so I will be using these numbers, right, that we just calculated to make this car air freshener. All right, without any further ado, let's get started in making this car air fresheners. All right, guys, so I'm going to take out 20 out of this bag so we can get them ready to go. It's 2, it's 4, 6, 8, 10. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, those are your 20 cardstocks. All right, so these I'm gonna put them in the leather bucket, just like that. Okay, set them aside. Okay, now I'm gonna weigh my Car Air oil, which is my DPG. Okay, and it says I need 1.8 ounces of this DPG. All right, so here's my DPG. Okay, been using this a lot. You can see it's almost done. All right, okay, so we're going to measure this. Let's tear this out. Okay, 1.8, that's what we need. Okay, a little bit more. All right, let's see. Perfect, 1.8 right there. Okay, we're going to set this aside. Now we're going to measure our fragrance oil. Okay, this is leather. Okay, all right, so it says we need 4.3. okay, that's almost the entire thing, right? Okay, 4.3, that's what we need. I went overboard. That's 4.5, and that's 4.3. Right. So that's all you need right now to make these car air fresheners. So for now, these are the 2 ingredients you will need. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just add my Car Air oil to the leather fragrance oil. So guys, if you look closely at the scale, when I added the Car Air oil to the fragrance oil, if you look at the scale, it shows 6.08 total. Now let's go to our calculation from the calculator tool that we use. It says total oil requirement, total oil needed says 6.08. Now if you look at our scale, it matches that 6.08. It just went off, but you guys saw that, right? So that is what it is. So that's why I love using this system to give me that accuracy that I need. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is spin this and mix it. And we're going to be using our mixer right here. Okay, so turn this on. We're not heating this up, we're just going to spin it. Then set this up here. We'll pick up one of our spinners. We drop it in there, and we turn this on. And then it will help me mix this up. Okay. So while that is being mixed, I'll be getting my other one ready to go. So after this is done, I'll be making the next one. Okay. So I have this bucket for my coffee. That's the last one they ordered. So I'm gonna take out 20 of this. All right, they're in. Set this one aside as well. So let's allow this to spin another 60 seconds. You want to mix this thoroughly. If you don't have a machine like this, you can use your hand and just stir. Like you can use a popsicle stick or something else, or your stirrer or a spoon, and just stir this continuously for about 3 minutes. I have this and it's saving me a lot of time and it's saving my wrist. Okay, so this is a good investment. If you want to buy this, you can go on Amazon and get this. Okay, but this is a very good investment. I'm using it for my room spray, but I'm like, you know what, I'm also using it for my Car Air Fresheners as well, because it saves me a lot of time. Right. So now let's stop this. I think it's done. We should be done with that, and we're going to move this here. Okay, let's take out that spinner. Okay, so here we go. All right, all I have to do is just dump all of this. Now you might think there's a lot of oil going into this, but you got to remember these cardstocks are cotton. They absorb very well, and also there are 20 of them. Okay, they're gonna absorb. Look at this. These ones I did. Okay, the oil also the same, but they absorbed everything. Okay, you're talking about a long-lasting Car Air freshener that lasts longer than 7 days, 14 days. So this is how I do mine. This is how they are, and they all start from the material, the cardstock that you're using. You got to understand your cardstock play a lot of role in your longevity as well. Well, I've talked about temperature, I've talked about Car Air oil, I've talked about other things. Your scent got to be strong, your fragrance oil got to be strong as well. All these things, I have a video that I talked about the tool that I use to help me simulate how long my Car Air freshener will last based on different parameters. If you want to watch that, I'll link that to the description, in the description as well. All right, let's jump into this. I'm going to pour this in now. When I'm pouring this, I'm going into everything. All right, I'm just going to them, all of them. Make sure the oil is touching all of them, which is going to do anyway because it's a lot of oil. Okay, okay, you guys can see that there is a lot of oil in this. Don't want to spill my oil, but I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me turn this down more. Okay, so it's swimming. These, you can see if I shake it, probably guys can see the oil. I don't know how to show you guys this properly, but it's there. Okay, so that's a lot of oil. Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do from time to time, I'm going to just move this to the edges so the edges are getting it as well. Okay, and also later on I'm going to come around and I'll take the top and put in the bottom so the bottom can face up. Okay, and then in 30 minutes I'll come down here and I'll take all of these cardstocks and I will line them on a rack so they can air dry for at least 8 hours. Now there will still be liquid fragrance and there will still be oils left in this bucket. Okay, I'm not throwing that away, guys. After 8 hours, I'm going to then take all those cardstocks from the rack, then I'm going to put them back in this and close it tight. When I close it tight, it's going to absorb again the rest of that oil, and that is why at the end they look like this, all soaked and all dry. There will be no oil left. Okay, all right, so that is what I will be doing. Okay, so now I'm going to set this aside for 30 minutes. Okay, so it can do what it's doing. Then I'll flip it. Okay, you know what, let me show you guys this. So it's been sitting down here for some time. Now I'm going to take the entire thing, Okay, see how it's dripping, right? Take the entire thing and I'm going to flip this in just like that. All right, clean my hands here. Okay, so now that's just the rotating. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Rotate that inside, rotate the top to the bottom, then the bottom to the top. Okay, now you leave this for 30 minutes. So the next one we'll be doing is the coffee. All right, first of all, I'm going to make sure this is cleaned. The Car Air oil, I'll leave it the same because it's the same thing going in there, but for this I have to go clean this up. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. This is clean. All right, so now I'm going to come back here. It's the same thing we're going to measure because it's the same material. Right, so here we're going to do 1.8. For the fragrance oil, we're going to do 4.25. So we got it right at the number. So now we're going to just mix this together. Okay, so right there you still have that 6.08. Okay, so this was the old one that we used for the leather. Let me get another one. We're going to be using this one so I don't cross-contaminate. So I'm going to put that in there and move this to the spinner. Okay, now turn this on. All right, guys, we're gonna turn this off, and it's been spinning for more than 5 minutes actually, because while it was spinning I was taking care of some things, and I also went to put the leather on the rack so they can dry. Let me show you guys what I was doing. So this was what I was doing while I was spinning. So I'm putting them on the rack so they can air dry. Okay, then I'll come back and I'll add them into the remaining oil that is still left. Okay, so you can see the oil is still left, so I can add them into that, and then they will absorb the rest of the oil. So that's the way I'm doing them. Okay, so let's go back to adding the coffee. All right, so we have our cardstock here, and now we're going to make the finished product by adding our mixture in here. Okay, let's make sure they're all assembled together as we go. All right, we're going to put them in now. Just the same way I did the last one, and this is how I do my Car Air Fresheners. For those of you who wants to know how I make my Car Air Fresheners, you're seeing it right now in front of you in real time. Okay, that's in. See the oil? Okay, so all I'm doing is just manually going around. All right, so just go around and move them around so it gets into every nooks and crannies, fibers, cotton of the cardstock. Okay, so let this sit for some time, then I will flip it, turn the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom, and then I will have them sit down in the rack for them to air dry for 8 hours. Then I'll come back and I'll put them back into the bucket and it will absorb more. All right, so there are so many ways you can make your Car Air Fresheners. This is one of the ways I've been doing it, and I've done it in so many ways and they still come up the same way. Whichever way you choose to do them, make sure you're curing them and make sure you are allowing them to absorb. Be patient with them. They are cardstocks. Be patient with them. They will absorb when they absorb, and if the oil is too much, they're just going to spit out what they don't need. Okay, they're just going to take what they can absorb, and whatever is left they're going to spit it out. That's why the tool is very important, because the tool gets down to the nitty-gritty. It gets down to it. Okay, so it makes sure the number you putting in it is what the cardstock individually needs to absorb. Okay, so there is no dripping coming off at the end. Okay, so that's why I use the tool, and that's why a lot of people are using the tool as well. Okay, so right now we're going to just let it sit. I'm going to flip it up just like I did the other one, so the method is consistent, so it's the same. So all right guys, that is how I make my cardstock. So this is the end of the Car Air Freshener production for this retail store. So the next time you will see me, it will be me packaging these Car Air Fresheners into their individual packaging cards. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and please give a thumbs up to this video. Also share this video so that people who you know that are interested in starting their car air freshener business or room spray business, they can benefit from this as well. All right, my name remains Chris, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care and God bless. Bye bye.